Hello folks. There is a secret about masturbation that many people are not aware. There is a mystery behind masturbation that you need to know as revealed by Jesus himself. Kindly stay to the end to fully understand this experience shared with us by a sister. Kindly comment where you are watching from so we can connect even though we are far apart. My name is Ella and this is what happened to me. I don't really know how to begin because what I'm about to share still feels like a dream, even though it was very real. My name is Ella and I'm 14 years old. But from the day I was born, my life has always felt different, almost like a story that God himself was writing. I was told my parents were married for 15 years without having a child. The doctors had already told them they would never give birth. It was like a curse, and every time someone asked my mother when she was going to have a child, yet they didn't give up on God. They kept praying and trusting even when it hurt. Then my mother became pregnant. I was told the news shocked the whole family, and even the doctors said it was impossible. But it happened. And that child was me. People called me the miracle child. Even in church, everyone always reminded me of how special I was. I loved being around God's presence. I would sing during worship, draw pictures of Jesus with colored pencils, and write in my notebook, "Jesus is my friend." Everything felt peaceful. Life was simple. But everything began to change when I turned 13. It started with strange feelings in my body. I was always tired. At first, we thought it was just stress or maybe I wasn't eating enough. But then I started to feel pain in my lower stomach. My legs would shake and I couldn't stand for long. I had constant headaches and would vomit for no reason. There were even days I couldn't get out of bed. Then something scary happened. I found blood in my urine. I didn't even want to tell my mom, but after the second time, I broke down in tears and told her. That very night, we rushed to the hospital. The doctors began to run tests, blood work, scans, x-rays. And after several weeks, they sat my parents down and gave them the result. I had cancer. They said it was a rare kind of cancer that affects children, one that grows in soft tissues like muscles. The name was long and hard to pronounce, rhabdomyosarcoma. It had started in my pelvic area and it was already spreading. I didn't understand all the medical words. All I knew was that my parents started crying and the doctors began talking about chemotherapy and treatments. From that day my life became different. I was no longer the cheerful miracle girl who could run around the house. I was now the sick girl in a hospital gown. I started chemotherapy almost immediately. It was like poison was being pushed into my veins to fight the thing inside me. My hair began to fall out. I was always cold. My body became weak. My skin looked pale and thin. Some nights I couldn't even eat or sleep. I would just lie there with my mouth dry and my heart feeling like it was giving up. They gave me so many drugs, painkillers, anti-nausea, sleeping pills, everything. But the worst part wasn't the pain. It was the silence. The feeling that God had forgotten me. I kept asking, why me? Wasn't I the miracle child? Wasn't I the proof that God answers prayers? Then why would he allow me to go through all this? I didn't have answers. The doctors tried their best. My parents stayed strong, at least in front of me. But I could hear my mom crying in the bathroom late at night. I could see how tired my dad's eyes were, even though he kept reading scriptures by my bed. Then came the night that I can never forget. It was March 17th. I had just finished another chemo session. My whole body was hurting and I had a high fever. The nurses gave me something to sleep and the lights in the room were dimmed. My mom was sitting by my bed reading the Bible softly while my dad was praying quietly by the door. Around midnight, something strange happened. I was lying on my bed when I began to feel something different in the air. I can't explain it. The room felt still, but not like normal stillness. It was deep, almost heavy. The machines beside me were still beeping, but everything around me felt like it had frozen in time. Then, suddenly, I felt a presence in the room. At first I was scared. I couldn't move or speak. I just lay there with my eyes open, wondering what was happening. The air around me changed. It was as if someone had entered, but not through the door, through the wall. And then I saw Jesus. He walked in through the wall, yes, the wall. A man in glowing white, brighter than any light I had ever seen. He looked gentle, peaceful. His eyes were full of love, but also full of something deeper, like he understood everything I had ever gone through. I knew immediately that it was Jesus. He didn't speak. He just looked at me with such kindness. Then, something happened. I sat up. Without pain. Without weakness. My body that had been too sick to move just obeyed, like it was never sick at all. Then he stretched out his hand to me. I reached out and placed my hand in his. The moment I stood beside him, I looked back and saw my body still lying on the hospital bed. My chest was moving slowly. I could see the machines. I could see my mother still sitting beside me with her eyes closed. But I was no longer in that body. I was standing beside Jesus. I didn't panic. I didn't cry. I felt peace. I felt whole. Then, in a blink, the hospital room disappeared. It was like the walls faded away, and suddenly we were standing in another place. This place was huge. It looked like a land that had no end. A wide, open space, not beautiful, not dark, just endless. And there, in front of me, I saw millions of people. I mean it. Millions. They stood still. Not walking, not talking. Just standing. They looked like normal people. Some were young, some old. Some wore church clothes. Some wore casual clothes. But none of them were smiling. None of them were moving. It was like they were stuck in place, frozen. I looked at Jesus confused. Why were we here? Why did he bring me to this place? Then, he began to reveal things to me in my spirit, without even speaking out loud. He made me understand that all these people standing still were trapped. They weren't physically dead. But they were spiritually stuck. And the reason for their condition was one thing: masturbation. That word made me uncomfortable even there. But Jesus was serious. He revealed to me that all these people had been taken captive by that habit. That it looked small, that people don't talk about it, but it's a weapon the devil uses to keep Christians in spiritual prison. And I believed him because I could see it. These people weren't joyful. They weren't growing. They weren't free. They looked like they had been standing in the same place for a long time, unable to move forward in their walk with God. Then I noticed something else. From time to time, a few people, not many, just a few, would begin to move forward. Slowly, painfully, but they moved. They walked toward a narrow gate in the far distance. The gate wasn't wide. It looked small and tight. But those who walked through it began to shine. Their faces lit up. They looked like they had won a battle. But the others couldn't move. They tried, but something invisible held them back. It was like they wanted to be free but couldn't. I felt so sorry for them. Then Jesus revealed to me the meaning of the gate. He showed me that only those who live in purity, those who overcome masturbation and guard their hearts, can pass through. Not because they were perfect, but because they chose to fight. Because they refused to be slaves to their own bodies. He made me understand that this habit of masturbation is not just physical, it affects the spirit. It slows people down. It brings shame. It kills their hunger for prayer. It opens doors to more sin. And it takes away their fire. I looked again at all the people and my heart broke. So many of them were Christians. Some even looked like people I knew. Yet they were trapped. When I opened my eyes, it was like waking up from something deeper than sleep. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just laid there, breathing slowly, staring at the ceiling above my hospital bed. The light was dim and the air smelled like medicine again. But something inside me had shifted. Jesus made it clear to me that this habit of masturbation is not just a bad behavior, it's a spiritual trap. Something that starts small but builds a wall inside the heart. He revealed that it changes how people see God, how they pray, how they worship. It fills the soul with guilt. And with that guilt comes silence, silence in the spirit. They stop speaking with God. They stop running to Him. They hide. He showed me that many Christians are suffering not because they don't love Him, but because they don't know they can be free. He wants me to tell them that they can be free. I remembered how He showed me the 3 things that masturbation steals. 1. The hunger to pray. It fades slowly until the person prays only when forced. 2. The strength to say no to deeper sin. It opens doors to more darkness. 3. The fire of the Holy Spirit. It dims the light in the heart. Jesus revealed that Satan uses it as a silent weapon. Quiet, personal, hidden, but deadly. He said it's Satan's way of taking out soldiers in the army of God without them even knowing. People who once prayed for hours now struggle to pray for 5 minutes. Not because God left them, but because shame took his place in their minds. He also showed me the narrow gate. I can still see it clearly. It wasn't easy to walk through. It looked uncomfortable. But those who made it through were glowing. Their faces were full of peace. They had fought. They had cried. They had failed before, but they got back up. They didn't let guilt stop them. They pressed forward. And they made it. To every person who will read this, I want you to know: masturbation may look small. It may feel harmless. It may even feel normal. But it's not from God. It's a tool that weakens you from the inside. It builds walls between you and the presence of God. It silences your spirit. It makes you too ashamed to run to the only one who can help you. Jesus showed me that every believer carries his spirit inside of them. That power is greater than any addiction. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. It doesn't matter how deep the habit has gone. If you will turn to him, truly turn, he will give you strength. Not just for one day, but for every day. He desires purity. Not just from girls or boys, but from all his children. He revealed to me that your body is not for your own pleasure. It's for his glory. Every hand, every thought, every desire, it's meant to honor him. And when you live this way, you don't just become holy, you become free. And I've tasted that freedom. Even now, as I write this, my body is still weak. The doctors say I'm still not fully healed. But inside me, there's a fire. A light. A voice that keeps speaking. Tell them. Show them. Remind them who they are. So this is what I'm doing. I want every teenager to know you're not alone. That secret struggle you hide? That shame you carry? Jesus sees it. And he's not turning away from you, he's reaching out his hand, just like he did for me. I want every parent to know, talk to your children. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't assume they are okay. The world is loud. The temptations are stronger now than ever. But Jesus is still greater. And I want every Christian to remember, you carry God inside of you. You have the Holy Ghost. He is not weak. He is not small. He is not hiding. He is ready to help you win if you'll let him. I don't know what the future holds for me. Maybe I'll live long. Maybe I won't. But I've seen something most people haven't. And I know this: life is more than comfort. It's more than fun. It's about living for the one who gave it to us. Please, if you've read this far, I want you to stop and think. Are you stuck like those people I saw? Are you standing still in the Spirit? Have you been chained by a habit you're too ashamed to speak about? Jesus is ready to set you free. He's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to surrender. To give him that habit. That phone. That secret part of you. He wants all of you. Every part. Every room in your heart. Not just the clean ones, but even the dirty ones. Especially the dirty ones. And if he can come to a weak, bald-headed 14-year-old girl lying in a hospital bed, he can come to you. Just let him. Thank you.